Hey everybody, Mr. Ben here. I wanted to take a little bit of time to go with you guys something that we teachers do a lot that can be a little overwhelming at times, scheduling. So today I'm going to share with you guys a little bit of my strategy for how I schedule my day, and will hopefully give you guys some ideas on how you can rearrange your schedule as well, or just plan your own. The thing with preschool, it can be very, very difficult to schedule because we have a lot to get done in a short amount of time. Usually most preschools are not all day programs, and so we have a lot we have to get done. We have to have so much of this, so much of that done. You have certain time frames that things have to get done. So I thought I'd take this time to share with you guys a little bit about my strategy on how I do my scheduling and why I do it the way I do. So the first thing I did was I ran off another set of my visual schedules. I love doing visual schedules, but I made a blank copies of it so that way I could just pretty much write it all down, scribble on it, throw it away, move it around, do all that kind of stuff. I'm a very visual person. I've tried doing it before on computers and things like that, and it keeps getting messed up for me. I keep making mistakes, I keep losing it. So I find it best just to lay it all out on the table, literally. And so that way I can visually see everything, and I also know what I have to do. Another thing I like to do with my schedule is I can take a marker and I'll write each activity here. So this is our morning meeting tab. I will take it and I'll write how long that activity is. So for example, morning meeting, that's about 20 minutes, give or take. So I'm gonna write on top of it, 20 minutes. And I'm not going for cleanliness here when it comes to writing, so just how it is. And I'll go through and do all those real quick while we get situated. Another thing I'll do is take sticky notes as well. I love to use my sticky notes for time's sake. So I'm going to write down my timer. So like a lot of our kids arrive at 7:30. So that will be like that. So I can put above it on my table here, I'll put morning meeting and 7:30 right above it. And I can roll it up and change it however I need to. So let me get the camera fixed better where you guys can see it more, and I'll get started on a few. All right, guys, back here again. I've got it all cut out and labeled. So I know this looks like a lot, but trust me, it will get easier, I promise. So first thing, like I said, I went through and I went ahead and wrote down every activity and how long it takes on it for any given moment. So like centers, that's about 60 minutes to an hour. Stations, where we're doing our small groups, anywhere from 15 to 20 minutes. And of course, you can't forget them bathroom breaks. So the first thing to do is establish what I call the lock-in points. These are points that pretty much are always the same. You cannot change them regardless. So the first one would be obviously when they get there, arrival. So we call it the early birds because some of our kids come in early with their brothers and sisters. Some get dropped off a car rider line, and a lot of our other bus riders come in later. So the first group of kids, we call them our early birds, and they arrive at around 7:15 when I go pick them up from the gym. So that is our first lock-in point. They're going to arrive every day at 7:15 when the door opens. Cannot change that at all. I'm going to put that right there, and I'll move the camera a little bit so you guys can see it better. I'll try to anyway. So I'm going to lock that in right there. That's my first locked-in mode. And what I'll probably honestly end up doing, I'll put a little thing on it here. I'll draw me a little picture of a lock. Like that. So again, my artistic skills are not that great, but that way I know, okay, that one is locked in. I can never change that. They're going to arrive every day at 7:15. I can't fix that. So another one would obviously be dismissal. So that one, when we dismiss, that's at about 2:20, 2:30, somewhere in there. Well, somewhere like that. So again, that one is another locked one. I cannot change that one. So I'm going to put it right here. I'm going to hopefully make 2 rows of this. Hopefully I can make 2 rows of this. So the next thing I want to do is just start building my day around where we would go. So another one would be, next one after morning meeting is breakfast. So breakfast time is around 8 o'clock. And again, that's another lock time because that's out of our control. We pretty much have to abide by the cafeteria schedule on that one. So we want to make sure to put down at 8 o'clock, we go to breakfast. And then another one on that same note would be lunch. So I'm going to dig through this pile here and find my lunch one. Here we go. And I'm going to put here, our lunch this year is at 12. So again, another locked one. We cannot change that because that is the cafeteria schedule. So I'm going to put that in here. That is locked in at 12 o'clock. Alrighty. I'm going to stack all this up here so that way I know where everything is. Alright. So the next little bit would be to schedule your outside times for me. Because here's the thing. When I do my scheduling for my outside times, I also correspond it with the gym's planning and lunch. So that way, the weather in Kentucky can be really unpredictable, and you never know what you're going to get. One day it'll be sunny and 75, the next day will be freezing and raining. So in order that way to throw not a huge wrench in my schedule, I always try to line up my outside time with the gym and their break time, their lunch, their planning, whatever. So that way, if we can't go outside and play, we just go in there. And we have a lot of stuff that they can do in the gym as well. So I want to make sure to put those times with the gym as best I can. So when you're doing your scheduling, biggest thing you can do is make sure that your schedule lines up with the people you're depending on. So cafeteria staff, gym times, things like that, things that are out of your control. Get those done first, and then you can rearrange your other stuff. It's easier to get, I always find this, it's easier to rearrange my schedule and my goals than what it is to get someone else to help me out with that kind of stuff. So here I'm going to reset that schedule as well. And I believe theirs is going to be around, I think it's around 11:30. So 11:30. I have to look at the notes to make sure. And I'm going to put that one there as just a star one, saying that we can move it if we need to, but it'd be in our best interest to stay. So I'm going to switch it up here, and I'm actually going to put our biggest one out there because the bigger the break, the bigger the time I want to have. So I'm going to put that one here. Have that. And then once I have what I call, like I said, once I have the locked-ins, then I'm going to go through and start lining up my other stuff as well. So I'm going to have bathroom breaks. We're going to have our first big experience. We're going to do symphonics. I'm going to take them outside afterwards. I like to take the kids out for a little bit and do a brain break. So we go outside on the playground for 10 minutes. If we can't do that, again, we'll go in the gym or we'll do a dance party here in the classroom. Just depends on availability. And then after that, we'll go into, once we get back, we'll do Super Friends. Get our centers. I'm going to move those right here. I love to do Super Friends. That's our social emotional learning. I love to teach them that before releasing them into centers, because then we can emphasize a skill like sharing, taking turns, being kind to others. And that's on their brains as they're going into centers, and we can really try to ask students to find those skills while they're in free choice center time. So that's really a great one as well. I'm going to put some bathroom times there. I'm also going to take, let's see if I have it right here with me, snack. I'm going to kind of combo that in with centers because I'd like to offer the kids a snack because there's quite a bit of time difference between breakfast and lunch. So I'm going to do that here. Centers, bathroom, and then after that we're going to have STEAM. I'm going to move these guys over here. And then after I do STEAM, actually I think what I'll do with that one is, I'm going to move it here. Move the lock times right here. Again, I'm not changing the times, I'm just changing the orders. So hopefully I can still get that in. Okay. Stations and then STEAM. That'll kind of slowly work them back in. They're going from free choice centers back to small groups and then back to a whole group activity. So I like to really try to give them a lot of time where we have a lot of instruction. So I'm going to move these guys right here. And I'm not going to go through this whole thing for you guys because we ain't got that long a time to make for a video. But I'm just hoping to give you guys a general idea of what to do and how to set up your classroom. So again, this is basically the easiest way I like to do it. I like to make the labels, spread it all out where everyone can see it. Well, mainly I can see it. And then I love to use the sticky notes here to write in the time. So as soon as I've got it all laid out the way I want to, then I'll go through with my sticky notes, put the times on it. Again, put a lock on the timers that have fixed times on it. Like I said, every day these kids are going to dismiss at 2:20. I can't change that. We're gonna have breakfast at 8 o'clock. Can't change that. Put a little star next to something that is kind of flexible. It's like, I really like to have it there, but I can change if need be. So I want to have that ready to go. After lunch, we're going to go obviously to the bathroom again. And so, like I said, lunch is 20 minutes, so that means our bathroom break will be at 12:20. Okay. And then after that, we're going to pack up. We'll take about 5 minutes. So that'll be about 12:30. Okay, yep. All right, so yeah, like I said, I like doing it like this because it allows me to see it. I can label it out. So I'm going to run through and do this real quick with you guys. So now I'm kind of getting everything situated. I actually ran out of sticky notes. I had to go get new sticky notes. Once you've got everything then labeled and organized and time-wise, then you want to make sure that your times work. So for example here, at breakfast time, that starts at 8 o'clock locked in. So 20 minutes and then a 10-minute bathroom break afterwards. So I want to make sure my next activity starts in that time frame. So if I say 20, 10, 30 minutes in, I want to make sure my next timer goes into 30 minutes, so from 8 to 8:30. I want to go through and make sure all my times work out well. And sometimes I give myself a little extra time. Like right here, outside time is only 10 minutes, but I put 9 to 9:15. The reason why I do that is because I want to allow myself 5 extra minutes, to get everybody in line, walk them back into the building, get a drink of water, etc., things like that. Give myself a little bit of what I call flexible room, because we won't always line up just perfectly in time. We won't always get right back in as quick as we need to. That's just school life. So you want to program a little bit of wiggle room for yourself in there in your scheduling. Okay, so this is what I talk about, having to be a little flexible in this sense. So I looked it up the time-wise. The playground time actually for us would be best to do it at 11:15. So I need to rewrite that. I'm just going to save myself sticky note here. I'm just going to scribble through that and do 11:15 and move it over here. And so therefore I have a big gap between lunch time and outside time. And most pretty days, I'll just let them run through with that. But, like I said, if we're in the gym and we can't stay in there the full time, I got to have a little gap here to fill in. So I might use that for our wizard riding time. So I could put wizard riding in like that. And then I'll put in a note here, let's see. So 30 minutes from 11:15, that'd be 11:45. So I'm gonna put 11:45, and it's hard to hold the phone and write at the same time, guys, so bear with me. So I'm gonna put that right there. And that way it fills in my schedule a lot better. So now I feel like I've got it all lined up and ready to go. Like I said, I don't have any little slots left over, so I know I've got all the stuff that I need to do during the day. I've got our small group instruction. I've got our large group instructions. I've got bathroom breaks. I've got meal times, dismissal. I can see it all and everything is right where it needs to be. I can move it around if need be, but I think I'm ready to print. So I hope this helped you guys a little bit. I know it seemed a lot in the beginning, but trust me, when you're able to actually get your hands on things and organize it like that, it's so much easier than just typing it in and out over a computer. Hope this helped you guys.